And today we're going to be looking at the balanced scorecard, first developed by Robert Kaplan and David Norton. And they came up with four different elements. So we're going to look at the elements next. And then we're going to try and give an example of how this can be applied. And then we're going to once again just measure and mention the Zapper app. So the balanced scorecard is a strategic planning tool to measure business performance. And the balanced scorecard looks at both financial and non-financial performance measures to gauge how well the business is doing. And it really uses these and aligns these to the vision, the mission and strategy of the organization. So, it starts with, as we said, the vision and the strategy at the center, and then it looks at four kind of areas within the organization, and then attaches performance indicators to each of these different areas. And these areas include obviously the financial side, the customer side, the internal business process, and the learning and growth within the business. So if we look at the financial data, well, the financial data is very important. Your gross profit margins, your net profit margins, your return on capital employed, your cash flows, your current ratio, your asset test to see if you have enough, cash in your business to weather any storms or downturns, or to meet your current obligations within 1 year. So all these factors, in terms of a financial perspective, is very important, especially if you're a shareholder, to determine or know if you're going to be getting a dividend from year to year. Otherwise, why are you investing in this company if the market share is not really going up or not giving you a dividend? So these factors are obviously going to be very, very important. If we look at the customer demand conditions, then we're looking at customer satisfaction, customer retention, and even customer perception. Are your customers happy? Because if your customer's not happy and you're not retaining your customers, then you have to think about the lifetime value of your customer and if they're going to keep returning back to you. Because if not, then you're going to have to keep finding new customers. And it's a problem if your customers are not satisfied, because then you're not really meeting their needs. And then how can you be profitable in the long term if you're not meeting your customers' needs? And customers' perception as well, because even if we take other models that we've looked at, other models like Porter's generic strategy, and if you are going for a low cost strategy, then you want to be perceived as that. Or if you're going for a product differentiation strategy, you want to know that your customers perceive you as that. Otherwise, there's going to be a problem. If we think about the internal processes, including product lead times, quality control, inventory and stock, well, all these things can add more expense to your business. If you're holding and have to buy more stock than you need to, then you have to have warehousing, you have to have employees, you have to have computer systems, you have to have all these things in place in order to hold that stock before you've even sold it. Quality control systems, again, if you're not working efficiently and effectively, that means you could be spending more money implementing things because you're not doing it efficiently or effectively. And product lead times, so all these things can actually add to the finance side, actually, in terms of greater costs, which will reduce your net profit. And then we have learning and growth, and learning and growth takes into consideration like employee skills, employee training, employee retention and satisfaction. If you're losing lots of your staff and you have to keep re-employing them, well, it's costing you a lot more money to do that. And if you train your staff and then they leave, again, it's costing you a lot more money to again get new staff, train them before they leave again. And also, is an employee a happy worker, or a happy worker motivated worker, or a motivated worker productive worker? So Maslow's hierarchy of needs in terms of employee satisfaction, and if someone is more motivated and satisfied, then they might be more productive and efficient in terms of what they're doing and produce more. If they're dissatisfied, then maybe they may be demotivated and not be as efficient and effective as someone who is motivated. Again, affecting the profit line and the net profit of your business. If we look at an example of a semiconductor business and see how they applied this to the balanced scorecard, regarding the main aims from a financial perspective, they wanted to survive, succeed, and prosper. So they looked at key performance indicators, including the cash flow, in terms of the market share, return on capital employed, and also quarterly sales growth. From customer factors, they wanted to create innovative, tailored products. They wanted to be, become a supplier of choice, and they wanted to get a percentage of them they wanted to get a larger percentage to get to market faster. And the key performance indicators here were on-time delivery rates, percentage of sales from previous new products, and popularity with key customers. So these were the way that they measured the customer side, which was very, very important. If we look at the internal process, they wanted to focus on excellent manufacturing. They wanted to produce new designs and introduce new products. And for each of these, they developed operational measures for each goal. And then finally, for learning and growth, their main learning was developing new products. So this, led to better competencies and processes, which in turn boosted customer satisfaction and thus generated better shareholder returns. So we can see that when you're looking at this, you really need to kind of look at both the financial and the non-financial, look at what your aims and objectives are in each, and then try and bring in key performance indicators which can be measured, so you can determine whether or not you are achieving these or not. So in summary, we know that this balanced scorecard was created by Robert Kaplan and David Norton. We know that the word itself says balanced scorecard, which means that they took into consideration both financial and non-financial information, including the financial, the customer's needs, the internal processes within an organization, learning and growth, and then at the center of the balanced scorecard, the vision and strategy of the organization. We know these would lead on to the KPI, key performance indicators, which should be able to be measured. And the other important aspect here is the order. So the order is important. The finance comes first, followed by the customers, and then the internal processes, and then learning and growth. So I hope that has helped today, and thank you from Mr. Tan. If you haven't already, please download Zapper. Just go to your mobile and put in download Zapper app, and then the Zapper will come up. Install it on your mobile. Once you open it, you can scan this barcode. This barcode will lead you onto other links that we would like you to watch other videos and other things to for homework. So before you start using these models, have a look at this to gain a broader understanding, so it will assist you when you're actually applying this model. So thank you today from Mr. Tan.